Okay, we are going to do some review of algebraic things. First thing we're going to review is solving algebraic equations. And then we're going to do distributive property and making sure we have equivalent expressions. So with solving equations, we have to isolate the variable. We have to get the variable by itself. We want to know what y is equal to in this case. Right now, we have 5y minus 7 equals 28. That's good, but we want to know what y is. So we have to isolate the variable y, get it by itself. So that means we have to get rid of the 5 that's attached to it and the minus 7. So we're going to use inverse operations to clear the variables. We're kind of going to use maybe reverse PEMDAS. We have this minus 7, so we're going to get rid of the minus 7. How do you get rid of take away 7? Well, you add it. So we're going to add 7 to both sides. Do we have to do it to both sides to keep it balanced? This side has to equal this side. If we do it to this, we have to do it to that because it's only fair. So minus 7 plus 7. That actually just goes away, and I'm left with 5y equals, this side is now 28 plus 7. Which is 35. So 5 times y is 35. 5 times what's 35? Well, in your head, you probably know, but we have to show proof of this. So I want to get rid of this 5. This is 5 times y, so let's get rid of the times by divide. Now 5 over 5 goes away, and I'm left with just y on this side. 35 divided by 5 is 7. If we want, we can easily check this by plugging our answer back into the original equation. Okay, 5 times y, we said y is 7, minus 7 is 28. Order of operation says 7 times 5 first is 35, minus 7 is 28. 35 minus 7 is 28. So I got 28 to be equal to 28. So I know my answer is correct. So use inverse operations to get rid of multiply, you divide. To get rid of divide, you multiply. This was subtract, so you add. If this was add, you would subtract. Do the opposite to clear it. Okay, the next thing we have is distributive property. We are going to distribute the 4 to both sides. We want to share the 4. Parentheses means multiply. First thing we have is distribute that 4. 4 times 5y is 20y minus. We have 4 times 4 is 16. So there's our answer. 20y minus 16. Make sure you do it to every part within the parentheses. Okay. Next thing. Actually, before we do this one, I would like to do an opposite version of this. So let's have a problem that says, like, 16y plus 24. I want to use the distributive property the opposite way. So I want to factor using the distributive property. I want to pull something out front. So we want to find the biggest number that goes into both parts. What's the biggest thing that goes into 16y and 24? Well, 8. So I pull an 8 out. 8 times what is 16? Well, 2. There's also a y there, so we keep the y. 8 goes into 24, 3. And there's no letter, so the distributive property, factoring it, is 8 times the quantity 2y plus 3, going in reverse. Okay, now our final problem of the day. Find the perimeter. Well, to get the perimeter of any shape, you have to add up all the sides. But there are no side lengths. We have x's and y's and z's. So we have to add them up. Okay, so we have x plus x plus y plus z plus y. There's everything we have to add up. Now, we're going to combine what we can combine. Miss Lib reviewed this with you yesterday. Anything with the same letter, you can add. Okay, so we have x and x. So I have an x plus an x. So if I have an x plus an x, I know there are two x's, so it's 2x. Plus, I have a y and another y. I have two y's. Then I have a z. So the parameter of this is 2x plus 2y plus z. That's all you know. You can't go any farther unless someone gives you what x, y, and z are. If someone tells you what those letters stand for to substitute in, you're able to take this problem a little bit farther. But as of now, that's all you can do. So on your exit ticket, you're going to have to basically find a problem kind of like this. You're going to have to solve a couple equations, and you're going to have to do the distributive property a couple times. And when you do the distributive property, make sure that you understand that you have to distribute the number out front to all parts and combine any like terms once you're done with that. So all I have to say is finish up your work, make sure you have perfect attendance for the week, and get working on your iReady, because your iReady's only 14 kids have started iReady, and we need to have at least 30 of you completed.